Hi there, Leo. Welcome to your end of July 2024 General Tarot Update. It's Serena here. I did post a video for you a couple of days ago that had hundreds of views, and I had to pull it down because someone pointed out that one of the cards was an 8 of Wands, not a 9 of Wands. And I think that person, I could have left it up, I suppose, but I didn't want to be inaccurate. This is the deck that I'm still using, but it's really kind of hard to see sometimes when I don't have my glasses on, and the illustrations are so like abstract that I would never be able to place, you know, that card to the actual number or whatever it is. So it's I'm just going to be more careful. So you get a bonus reading if you saw the first one. Feels like, oh, yep, there are 2 cards. So I'm going to put both of these here. Oh my goodness. And I'm using a different table too, so this is my typical one, but I was using a different one the first time. Okay. This is upside down, so I'm going to just hold it upright because it's easier to see. So the Father of Wands is the King of Wands, but it is turned upside down, so that can be toxic masculinity. And so there could be somebody in your life, if it is a fire sign, Wands are fire, it might be an Aries or a Leo or a Sagittarius. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a Sagittarian, but I think that the Aries and the Leo fire signs are more likely to have those kind of tyrannical elements to them, and that's no shade thrown to those signs, but it's, you know, both of those signs in their own way, you know, really crave power and leadership. So this could be a boss, this could be your actual father. That's why I'm sure they say father instead of king, because they want to emphasize this kind of authority parental figure. And yeah, I mean, you know, it's funny because I always think of the King of Wands as Leo. So could this be you, Leo? Could you be kind of imbalanced and not acting in your highest version of yourself and throwing your weight around? I don't know. This might be somebody who has power over you in some way, or you perceive that they do. It actually is more of a perception than reality. Oh, interesting. In the past position, we have Father of Cups. This is King of Cups. Totally different energy. This can be first of all, it's upright, but this can be the person who has emotional mastery, because I always think of the kings as mastering whatever element their suit is connected to. In this case, water element, the emotion. Somebody who's emotionally mature. Sometimes they tell you that this can be somebody who is older than you, but I don't like to emphasize that part, because I think that the chronological age thing is really not important. You could have somebody in their 20s who's behaving in a very mature way, and you meet them and you're like, wow, they're wise beyond their years. You could have an old fool who's still doing the same old. But the King of Cups can be a counselor. It can be a spiritual advisor. So perhaps you have started consulting one of those types of people, in the helping profession, to help you deal with this individual. Maybe this is an ex, the one that's in the middle. and you have met someone, or, you know, again, it could be like you've gone through counseling to deal with this person. Sometimes I do see kings, if they're, especially if it's reversed, as narcissists, because they're abusing their power. They have that power somehow. Bosses, parents, and, you know, it's like it can be very upsetting to have to deal with such a person. And for a Leo, one of the things that you really are all about is a sense of personal honor, and, you know, the idea of treating yourself and others with honor, dignity. And this is about the idea, you know, of pride in the healthy sense. You know, loving, you know, self-love, and being able to be happy with who you are. And when you are around some of these kinds of people, it can actually, it is so toxic. You know, none of us are perfect. So it's not to say that if somebody points out your flaws that, oh my God, they're lying. I don't have any flaws. Of course we have flaws. But the people that hone in on those things instead of the good things, those are dangerous people. And so if you have somebody like that in your life, it's possible that you have tried to find some way to cope with it through the Father of Cups type of energy, or maybe you have, thankfully, maybe you have met someone. Hopefully the Father of Cups isn't somebody from the past, and now you're currently involved with the King of Wands reversed. I mean, that would be going from, I was going to say the frying pan to the fire, but it's actually going from a spa to the fire. The higher message is the devil. The devil is connected to the sign of Capricorn, and it has to do with, and well, actually through Saturn, okay? It has to do with the enslavement due to enslavement of the senses, and how that temptation can ensnare us and keep us at a low vibration, and, you know, that it's the cause of suffering. So why would this be the higher message with those two cards? Well, what I would say, if this is a boss situation, if this is a love situation, it doesn't matter. You may be there for the wrong reasons. So in a relationship, are you there because that person is important to you? Isn't it, I was going to say important to you, but important, I'm putting that in air quotes. Maybe they are very successful. Maybe they're very affluent. It's not to accuse you of being some kind of, I don't know, like superficial person who is just like in it for, you know, the glory or something, but simply to say that Leo is a sign that does like to be with the A-list. And sometimes it's like, you know, you've got to pay the, I was going to say, pay the devil his due. I think that was from that song, from Blue Oyster Cult or something. But yeah, so, and then that would be like in personal relationships, in a job situation, you know, staying there for the money instead of staying there for, oh Jesus, instead of staying there for, because it really is fulfilling and you feel like your heart is in it. So these kinds of situations can lend themselves to being exposed to people that don't have your best interests in heart, to say the least. Now I've got two cards that are about the, what do you call it? What crosses you or what the obstacles are. One is a Two of Wands. You may be at a crossroads in your career plans, if you want to call it that. And what I mean by that is you might be like disenchanted with a certain line of work that you're in right now, but you haven't really fleshed out what you want to do. And then that makes sense. I mean, why would somebody, well, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say, why would somebody quit when they don't really know what they want to do? But if you're dealing with someone who is really, really toxic, you know, you have to kind of decide how it has been affecting you, and if it's really gotten to the place where it's like seriously could produce harm, because then it's all about being self-protective. But yeah, you might be like at a crossroads in terms of career. And, oh, isn't this interesting? The Fool card. Huh. Well, that's interesting because this is the first card of the Major Arcana. And it really speaks to absolutely new beginnings. Well, those cards kind of go hand in hand. It would suggest that you're in some kind of a new cycle, and therefore you can't really see anything yet. And you are a fixed sign. So it's, oh, you know what it is? Okay, the devil you know. You know, it's like you want to leave that situation, but it's the devil you know that keeps you there. As long as you do not embrace your new journey that the Fool card represents, and as long as you do not make, you know, try to really work towards mental clarity that will allow you to make that decision if there's some kind of particular path that you feel compelled to walk. And I'm just going to give you a heads up astrologically. There is going to be a Mercury retrograde in August, and so it's coming up pretty quickly. We're in the shadow period as we speak, or we're going to be after today, I think. And basically, it's going to start in Virgo, which is your second house of earned income, and it's going to go back into your sign. Then at the end of this year, you're going to also have a Mars retrograde. So I could see Leo people having a lot to think about, and it may not be decided right away. But if you see that your life has been changing quite a bit and you've been holding on to the old version of yourself, I would say it's time to let go, and it's time to allow new things to flow into your life so that you're not just kind of like white knuckling it, because you're blocking your own new beginnings then. What's coming in is the Five of Swords. Don't be tempted by an empty victory. Don't be tempted by doing something that is not in your highest good so that you can get, you know, because you're concerned with the bottom line. Also, now, again, this, especially with relationship issues, in August, like a month from now, we're going to have a full moon in Aquarius. That's your opposite sign. And you may see these outcome cards, I wouldn't say is for the last 2 weeks of the month necessarily. Sometimes this is going to play out further down the line. But I'm just thinking of a transit that might particularly affect you. Of course, you're going to have a new moon in your sign in August, but you're also going to have a full moon in Aquarius, and that is going to be in your house of relationships. Of course, this is a general forecast for that. And you might find what's really going on, because the Five of Swords can be backbiting and all kinds of deceptive things. Yeah. And that could even be a thing with coworkers too, in general. coming up. Even this thing with Capricorn, yeah, I mean, yeah, what am I thinking about? Oh, yeah, absolutely. That will go in your, that's a blue moon. That's going to be in your 6th house of work, I believe. So, yeah. So you may find out, and that's coming up in a matter of days. So you might find out what, who's doing what. If this is a work situation, co-workers and whatnot. The outcome is the 8 of Pentacles. This is a card of embracing your excellence. This is a card of maybe you need to train for something. And for Leo, you might be like, what, me train? I'm the leader. I'm not, but gaining some kind of skills that puts you at an advantage. Maybe this is really a card of excellence and doing your best work. So really what I would say is not mailing it in. If you have like this crappy situation, that it would be tempting to just throw in the towel and say, screw it, I'm just going to like bide my time until I quit. No, you do your best work, and then when you leave, it'll really be a statement, because people will sense the loss. They won't have anything to blame it on. They won't say, well, she was a slacker, so no wonder she's gone. So this is a good money card too, by the way. So however that manifests for you. The number 8, the 8th house in astrology is actually other people's money, so who knows? Okay, that's what I have for you, Leo. I hope that this resonates. If you'd like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.